Hello, mixed nutcases. This is Nuke Joss. And with me today...
Hi, I'm Tech, and I think we need a version of that with like sleigh bells in the background.
Well, I have not that song, but I do have sleigh bells going. I do have sleigh bells with the 12 days of podcasting.
Oh.
I wonder if I could go back and edit it, and people will say, hey, but we just heard sleigh bells. I could throw the jingle bells in there. I don't know. We'll think about it. Anyway, it's a little festive time, and we're going to be talking about, decking our halls, getting ourselves ready for holidays. And we're going to be generic on these holidays because we might talk about some other holidays other than those winter ones. But let's talk a little bit about decorations and getting yourself all festive externally.
Yeah. So I want to start here. So I got an idea on how I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you agree.
Yep.
But I'm just going to go through different types of decorations, like inside the house, outside the house, this room, that room, talk about things. And then you tell me what you did. I'll tell you what I did. And then we can talk about what we're doing now. And
then we're getting history and then current.
Yeah. And then maybe cool stuff that other people do that we like.
Yeah.
Or maybe like we'll look into the future for the last part. Then we'll move on to the next part.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so specifically I want to talk about winter holidays here, and The two of us are from a Christian tradition, so we'll be talking mostly about Christian winter holidays, like Christmas, but that doesn't mean that we're excluding anyone.
Yeah.
It just means that these are the traditions that we grew up with.
Yep. We both specifically grew up in Catholic families, so, the whole baby Jesus stuff is relevant. All right.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday. Jesus was a man. He grew up in it and everything. Yeah, but I preferred the baby infant Jesus.
Wow, you are going to quote Talladega Nights to me.
Yes, I am.
What crazy topsy-turvy world are we living in?
It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh, tiny infant baby Jesus, 6 pounds, 5 ounce.
Anyway.
What a great movie. But, okay, so start us off with... So growing up, you grew up in a large family.
Very large family. Yes.
You had a big house growing up.
Yes, we did.
So did you guys decorate the outside of the house?
Oh yes, we have very specific things that we had to do.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Knowing your parents, this had to be meticulous and organized, family Von Trapp style.
Well, no,
you guys are outside laying reeds.
I will say there was definitely a difference of opinion between my parents. My dad loved multicolored craziness, and my mom white lights. So my mom, every year we would get the fresh garland. So it was actual pine needles, and it would do the arch of the doorway and wrapping around the railings going down the stoop with red velvet-like bows at every interval, and then big red bow. My mom would build the most beautiful wreath. She never bought it. It was a fresh wreath all the time. She did the decorations. She did everything. It was exquisite. And
were you guys a fold your own palm frond crosses for Easter too?
Well, we did, but it was mostly because you were bored in church, right? Like you get the palms when you walk in and you're sitting there and you got something in your hands. What are you going to do with them? You're going to fold a cross.
I never knew how to do that. We always had ours pre-folded.
What's really wild is if you can fold it into the cross of St. Bridget. That's a cool cross.
Oh, the more complicated.
That's a really cool cross. But and then white lights wrapped all around. Now, where the rest of us could go wild and crazy is we could put lights on other trees and things in the yard and then make the decision. But, the white archway was very important, and it looked great. It looked wonderful. Everything went, and I think my first electrocution, though, came from Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a accidental snippage of the light, and of course everything went out. And it was like, okay, make sure we unplug it. And I had to splice the wires together and tape them back with electrician's tape and everything. And while I'm doing it, I got up. I thought you said you unplugged it.
I unplugged it now.
Was not very nice, but I think I was like, I don't know, middle school at the time. I don't know. I loved being the person that would splice wires back together. That was like one of my favorite things. But inside, there was always the argument of, do we do white lights this year or colored lights on the tree? We always had, there were these two really She's passed away, so I can talk about it on air. Really two gaudy ornaments that my grandmother made probably before I was born. We called them the holy hand grenades, and they went on the back because they were atrocious.
Before we get to the tree, let's keep talking about outside.
Oh.
I haven't talked about outside yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll stop. That was outside. We'll get into the other stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so outside, the Christmas would always begin with the ceremonial untangling of the old-fashioned Christmas lights.
Oh, yes. That was part of it as well.
Then finding out which bulb had burnt, and then replacing them. We did the multicolor strings, but because we moved every 3-4 years with the military, we kept the decorations outside pretty simple. I think we did icicle lights one year. We did twinkling lights. We did a couple things in the yard, but we kept them pretty simple because we'd have to pack them up and move them.
Yeah.
So nothing too fancy outside ever. Never fresh wreaths, but then again, anything related to, I don't know, live branches lighting on fire, my mom was highly against because my mom was convinced that we were going to burn the house down. So there was no live nothing.
Yeah.
Of any kind. And that's all we did for outside. I mean, we with the amount of snow that we would get, you couldn't put anything in the yard because it was just going to get buried. I mean, growing up in central Canada where I did, you built your Halloween costume extra big to put your snowsuit on underneath it because it's the only way you'd survive trick-or-treating. I do remember having vivid memories of being like 9 or 10 years old and the snowplow is going by before trick-or-treating, so you're vaulting like big mounds of snow to get up people's driveways
love it.
To get your candy. So by Christmas, if you'd put like, festive Christmas bears or you'd put like a little village out there, it was just going to get buried.
Yeah.
So there was no point.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't really put anything in the yard. It's just a lot of extra, stuff. We had holly bushes though. And, we would put, decorations on the holly bushes. So we'd decorate those holly bushes. I will say holly has little prickers on them. Getting the lights off, not a great idea. But we also had pine bushes next to it. But the actual holly, Mom would take that and put it into her other decorations. It was awesome.
So what do we do now for outside decorations?
We are the leave them up all year round house.
Yeah, but now with today's modern technology and silicon chips and such,
it's very different.
But we can change the lights for whatever we need, and they're not on all year round.
And it's not tacky because you can't really see it because they're the mini lights.
Yeah, and they follow the contours of the porch and the roof line of the house, so they're non-intrusive, but they stay up all year round. But because they're LED controlled, we can change the color of the lights to be whatever we want. So they're off most of the year except for, the weeks around Christmas.
And other holidays, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, is that for other holidays, like Canada Day, they'll be red. Remembrance Day, they'll be red. Patty's, they'll be green.
Yeah. I think I made them pink for Valentine's and orange for
reconciliation.
Yes, and
Halloween.
Yeah. And we just had a lot of fun with that. Although, unfortunately, because even though I bought them in Canada, but because they're made for U.S. and Canada, it goes to red, white, and blue. And I'm like, well, there's I guess, unless I'm celebrating, I don't know, is there an Acadia Day? Like, red, white, and blue doesn't really work.
I'm sure there is an Acadia Day.
It's just not celebrated here.
You also want to look like a barber shop, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But the first year that we put the lights up at this house, I got 3 strings of programmable lights, and I had to do a complicated series of making sure they're all plugged in, because what I didn't realize is they don't daisy chain. So older lights will daisy chain, but these new fangled LED ones will not daisy chain. So we had all 3 set up. Well, then next year or 2 years later, I was like, oh, the same lights, but they're so much longer. It's a mega huge string. And we got even more length than those 3 altogether, and it was a twofer. So I bought one. We went from just doing the porch to doing the roof and the top of the porch and everything, and it was great. And then over the last year or two, some of our bulbs started dying and some sections were starting to go, and we're like, okay, well, I have that extra mega string. And so this year I chopped off all the original ones and put in the new ones. And now we have the entire porch, the arch of the porch, and some of our little boxwood bushes.
Yeah, our tiny little boxwood bushes.
And now, this year, I added a wreath.
Yes, we have a wreath. You just added the red bow.
Yep.
And what else? You added those little berries.
Yeah, the holly berries. And yeah. To make it the Christmas wreath instead of the year-round wreath.
Yeah. And we don't do anything around the lawn or anything because we're just going to get it covered in snow.
Yeah.
We have neighbors down the street that do the little...
They do the bears and the
bears. There's
beavers and whatever.
And then, the granny across the street has got like all the lights and she puts out the plants and the flowers. And I don't know if she has it out this year, but she normally puts out a holiday palm tree.
Yeah, it's out. She's got her palm tree out.
She's got an artificial palm tree covered in lights.
Yeah, it reminds me of the one that NCAF had. Yeah, the Christmas palm.
Yes.
But it's like all sparkly tinfoil looking garland wrapped around it and lights.
Well, she'll change the flowers, like the artificial flowers that she hangs on her porch rail. Like she'll change them 2-3 times a year.
Oh, yeah.
Her Christmas decorations are always on point.
She goes all out.
Oh, yeah. It looks really good.
We're like the two houses that are mega lights, and we're opposite on opposite sides of the street, which is great.
Yeah, there's 3-4 houses.
There's some houses with inflatables, which, we were walking around one night and there was a lot of wind, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if Frosty's gonna stay here tonight.
Our neighbors have got those they're large LED lit candy canes that they hang from their porch rail. But I haven't seen them turned on this year. I don't know if they know that they're not working.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if they just haven't plugged them in.
Yeah. They're cute.
Yeah, and outside, I don't know, we spend most of our time inside, or if I was outside during Christmas, I wasn't at home. I was at the sledding hill.
Yeah.
So we never really did a lot of... and the snow being what it is... people can't see your decorations from the road anyway because the snowbanks are too high. Although
they can see ours.
Yeah, but
I know.
I mean lawn ornaments.
Yes.
I love lawn ornaments. They can't see lawn ornaments. That's why we don't have any.
Yes, I agree.
Although one thing that I remember from my neighborhood growing up, I always got a big chuckle out of it every year. Is they had a life-sized mannequin stuffed to look like Santa Claus with a big sack of presents on his shoulders, and they had a ladder going up the side of the house to the chimney, and like every day in December he would go up a rung.
Oh, that's cute.
And there was a sign like only 3 more days till Christmas, and he'd go up, and then on Christmas Eve it would just be 2 legs sticking out of the chimney.
That's hysterical. I love it. Yeah, I've seen like little things like that. I was actually thinking about how like when we were kids there were these big hard plastic figures that people would put on their lawns. We had one, but we didn't put it on the lawn. My older siblings may have put it on the lawn, but by the time I came around, it was not on the lawn. It was in my bedroom. And it was like a 3-foot Santa or 4-foot Santa, and he's got his bag of presents and he's saying shush, and I'm sure we can make little jokes because I'm sure he looks a little naughty and scary by today's standards. But like that was the lawn ornaments of the day, and people had all different ones, and it was like this really hard plastic. Whereas today it's the inflatables, like those old hard plastic ornaments are now replaced by inflatables. And I just thought that was kind of interesting to point out. Although I will also add on, as I said before, our current light situation. When you turn off the main road onto our street, you can see our lights 2 blocks away, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. It's us and Mamer's house next door across the street. It's just, we glow.
We glow.
You can navigate by air by our house, I swear. It's not quite the Griswolds.
No, we're not quite the Griswolds, but it's pretty... It gives me... It's like Griswold light, and it makes me happy.
I think that if they redid that movie today, the Griswold's Christmas lights would have to be one of those like LED computer-controlled, set to music displays that people do.
And his frustration wouldn't be the series lights, but it would be like, the Wi-Fi is not working. This one goes to the 5 gigahertz, and this one will only go to the 2.5. Ah!
I do love the gag that during the montage of him spinning the lights up, that the power plant has to flip an extra breaker.
Yes.
Because he's drawing that much current.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, it's so easy to do lights these days. It doesn't cost what it used to cost.
Oh, no, not with LEDs.
Yeah.
Oh, you crazy light-emitting diodes, aren't you fun? But looking ahead, is there anything that you want to do for the outside of the house that you see other people doing that you'd like to do?
Nothing too special. I've always been a fan of the candle in the window. So one candle in every window. I kind of like that. We don't have a lot of windows, but I dig it. But the problem is then I have a candle on the inside. Like, I know it's going to be an LED, but at the same time, I like the inside of the house dark.
The spirit of my mom is very angry at candles.
Yeah. Well, okay, but they're LEDs. It's okay, Mom.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There's no heat.
There's no heat. You can't catch fire. No, that's battery operated. We're good.
But, yeah, so that'll take us from the outside of the house. Now, I want to talk about next inside the house decorations, but don't talk about the tree yet.
Okay.
So what kind of decorations did you do inside the house that's not the tree and not under the tree?
Okay, so number one, the hard plastic Santa was up in our bedroom, and it was like we would sleep with it like a nightlight. It was awesome. I loved it. It had this giant incandescent bulb on the inside, and it got really, really hot too. Like, I'm sure that thing was a fire hazard. I loved it. The mantle. My mom, she wasn't a Christmas Village person.
So the house you grew up in had an actual fireplace?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. No, like even more legit than the one my mom currently has.
Which is an actual fireplace that we use all the time.
Yeah, but like this one, you could cook on.
Did you have the cast iron pots and
the
hooks to hang the cauldron over the fire? Or?
We had not the cauldron, but we had like a pot that could go on the top because there was like this fluted kind of vent thing that you could put like little pots on top of it. We had those, and there was something that I thought was a popcorn maker, but then found out when I got older, I was like, no, that's a bed warmer that we never used. It was just always just there next to the fire. But yeah, it was an old style fireplace. My mom would do the mantle very nice. You know, there'd be like little figurines and stuff, but not like that whole epic snow village thing. But she would put like little snow around on all of like around the stereo, also the mantle, the stereo, all the windowsills, like everything that had like a flat surface had decorations, Christmas decorations everywhere. And it was a whole scene of like not just like picturesque little things. And you know how my mom does stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So of course there was her really nice centerpieces that she would do and things like that. And she did not have that candleless obsession when I was growing up, but she does now. She has candles everywhere, actual candles that the spirit of your mother would be very upset about. And when we're at dinner at my mom's house at the end of dinner and you're cleaning up dishes, you walk around the house and you blow out all the candles and it's like, did we get everything?
Well, I think in my case, especially with mom being sick as she was that it was mom's acknowledging that she's forgetful and that if I forget a candle and I burn the house down, it's my fault. So the best way to never forget a candle is to not have candles.
Yeah. But to be fair, when you put your finger in candle wax once, she lost her mind. It was so cute.
That was really funny.
And stockings. So, of course, we had stockings. And the stockings we had were knit by my grandmother. They were made of granny squares. They were red, white, and green. They were garish. They were awesome. And at one point, someone always put them on like regular socks to see who they fit this year.
That's funny. Okay, so my family inside the house decorations, yet again, with mom being as sick as she was, mom never wanted to do much for decorations because it just meant more to clean up. So things like tinsel, my mom hated tinsel.
Oh yeah, same.
Because tinsel just meant it was just food for the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
So no tinsel. We would do garland around the banisters going up and down the stairs.
Yeah, we did that too. I forgot about that. But it was, again, the real garland.
Yeah, no, we would just do the fake, like, tinsely garland.
Yeah.
The big things in my house was, the two things I'll talk about was the Christmas village that Mom did every year. She would take one of the tables in the dining room or the living room and make a little Christmas village out of figurines. And then they would build the nativity, but that would be under the tree. We'll talk about nativity scenes in a bit.
Yeah.
We would build this little Christmas village, and there were all of these little, like, figurines, and there was a church, and there was a shop, and there was a garage, and there was a house, and there was a thing. And then she would put it on this blanket, this quilted cotton blanket that looked like snow, and then we would build this little village, and there was the little manger in the village.
Yeah.
And there was the little donkey that went in the village, which was I think I've talked about this on the show before.
I'm sure you have, but everybody loves this story.
But I love the Christmas donkey because he was, like, really, really cute, and it was a thing between my brother-in-law and I think just to cheese off Mom and my sister, that they would build the nativity scene in the village. They would put the donkey next to the manger, and then one of us would take it and put it on top of the peaked roof of the church. Because he was the church donkey, and he was a parkour expert, and he liked being up there. And then we would move him around, and we would move him around the house. Even now, when we went up last Christmas, I moved that donkey to a place in the house that only I can reach.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there. And it's going to stay there till one of the nephews gets taller than me.
Because you did teach it to the Nibblings, and they were starting to move it around as well.
Oh, yeah.
In recent years.
Oh, yeah.
But
the donkey's on top of the TV. He's on picture frames.
But now it's on this plaque that is all the way up at the top of the ceiling, and yeah.
I have to go up on my tippy toes to reach the top of this frame, and that's where the Christmas donkey lives now. But so the two things that would be in the house for Christmas would be the...
Yes, let it be known that Tech is the tallest in his family.
Yes, we are a short family. I would, so there's the Christmas village, and then there was my dad's booby traps.
Oh, yes.
Because Dad would not want us to reach the presents before they woke up Christmas morning, so we started booby trapping the house, which led to another great family tradition that we'll talk about. We'll talk about that next episode.
Okay. But, spoilers.
Food.
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where, like, we would go to midnight mass, and then we'd get home from midnight mass and not want to go to bed because there was a tree full of presents.
You said we were saving that for the next one.
Yeah, but
okay, go ahead.
I'll get there. So we had a tree full of presents, and you come home from midnight mass, the tree's full of presents, and like, okay, go to bed. We'll get them in the morning. No, we will not go in the morning. We'll do it right now. Mom, I'm hungry. Feed me. So then we started a whole separate tradition of eating at like 2 a.m.
I do love that. I like that tradition of it's all appetizers.
Yeah, well, now you're the one who's spoiling it for the next episode.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But we'll get to the midnight feedings later. But so in order, when we were really young kids, before we started doing midnight mass, in order to prevent us from getting up and opening the presents without the parents, Dad would like snare line the house. So he would like lay fishing line and cowbells like in the stairs. Not enough to trip you, but enough to
sound the alarm
to let everybody know that we were coming down. And I remember the one time, it's like, I woke up, it's like 5 a.m. I know it's Christmas. I know I'm not supposed to open presents, but I have to pee. The bathroom's downstairs. It's like, okay, I'll go pee because I really got to go. I'll take a peek at the tree, and then I'll go back upstairs, and then I'll get up with my parents. And then I hit the cowbell. Dang, ba-dang, bang, bang, ba-dang, bang, bing, bong, bang, bong, all the way down the stairs. Yeah, see, Dad did a great job laying the snare lines, but what he neglected to do was tell Mother.
Oh, jeez.
So Mom is having a heart attack thinking that there's a cattle drive going through the house. Oh, poor Mom. Yeah. Gosh, it was funny. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm tangled up in fishing line trying to go down the stairs. Oh, that was funny.
And that's Dad's present to himself.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Jumping Jehoshaphat.
So did we get to the tree?
Okay, go to the tree.
Yeah, because we don't really have... we have to talk about what we're doing. What do we do now?
For inside the house?
Yeah.
Not much. We don't have room.
We don't have room. I did make, years ago, I have had a on-again, off-again struggle with a Christmas tree. I like a real tree. And...
So, before we get to our tree now, let's talk about trees, and then we can talk about it as our tree now.
Yeah, because I guess that's the only internal decoration we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll move on. We do nothing is what we're saying. We're lazy. We do nothing. And we don't spend Christmas here except we did it the pandemic year. No, not the pandemic. 2020. We went up to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't do Christmas here. We did once when you came down to visit me and I was in New York.
Yeah, and then you did a live tree.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that. Yeah. But I didn't do much decorations outside the tree even then because I was in a tiny basement apartment.
Can we talk about festive underpants as internal? No.
Wow. We do not have festive underpants. Thank you very much.
Although I do need the ones with the mistletoe on it.
Moving on.
Did you guys ever do mistletoe in the house?
Yes, we did actually. Growing up, we had mistletoe on...
With real mistletoe?
No, because that's poisonous.
Well, sure. So are poinsettias.
Okay, but you're not going to eat... You're not going to eat the mistletoe either, but the mistletoe could fall on things and whatnot, and there's children.
Rory calls it Christmas salad. Roar.
But no, we did. We always bought the fake mistletoe, and
did you guys
it was
do poinsettias?
Like every archway. Probably, yeah. My mom had lots of flowers. They were always part of like the centerpiece.
Did you guys do all the smooching under the mistletoe?
There was a little bit of smooching.
Okay.
But not a lot. Like it was just like, there's mistletoe. You two have to kiss. You know, whatever. You two don't like each other. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh man, I'd be setting that up on purpose. Excuse me, sibling I don't like. Can I get you to go? Could you please go to the kitchen and get me this thing, please? Thank you. Oh, look, you crossed the threshold. You're next to the sibling you hate. Smoochie, smoochie, smoochie.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I know how to play this game. This game is horrible.
Or one sibling's friends come over and you make it awkward with the other sibling. Yeah.
You're telling me, wait, I could, if my sister's friends came over?
Yeah, you could have been kissing a certain someone I won't name on the podcast, but she knows you had a crush on her.
But I mean, I can like do this now.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
Interesting. Except she only visits in the summer. Hey, Christmas in July! Hooray!
Doesn't work out in summer. Doesn't work in summer.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah. So, moving on from the lack of consent berries. I don't think mistletoe is appropriate for this day and age. Christmas trees.
Of course, everything with consent.
Christmas trees.
Powering through.
So my mom wanted white lights. My dad wanted colored and blinking. My mom liked an angel on the top. My dad wanted a star. My dad wanted, as we called it, the Eat It Joe's star. The Eat It Joe's star was gold with gold garland, multicolored lights that strobed enough to give you a seizure.
And it looked like a neon Eat It Joe's sign that you'd see outside of a diner.
Yeah. We ended up going with for the most part of my recollection, it was like a fake crystal globe made of plastic with a gold star around it. And that was a little more simple and a little more tasteful. As soon as my parents split, my mom said angel and only angels. So it went to angels after that. And they were very lovely. My favorite thing was when we had a tree, Rory was on the top of the tree.
Which then turned into a tradition for the rest of the family.
Yes.
That Rory or his sister Rosie.
Yes. Goes on top of the tree.
Would go on top of the tree. And was it my mom or my sister that made the gold wings?
I think it was your sister made them.
Made gold wings
for Rosie.
To put on Rosie's back or Rory's back so that they could be the angel.
Rosie is Rory's sister. It is the same puppet, but red.
Action figure.
Puppet. Didn't call him a dolly. So we had all the different ornaments like I had referenced before. A very gaudy ornament from my grandmother on my father's side. I'm going to be very specific there, by the way. And we called them the holy hand grenades. They went on the back. Now, we also had a tradition of our booties. My mom turned our booties into ornaments.
You mean like little baby shoes, little baby booties?
Little baby booties.
Okay.
So for the older siblings, they were like a white leather booty. They were really nice, and they had their names and their birthday written in gold on the bottom.
Mine are still tucked away in a cabinet somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Those same little leather pair of booties. My mom kept them. They're in a cabinet somewhere.
Mine was crocheted. or knit. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at those. Mine is a just a yellow because apparently, and I can tell you, I know who knit it. I know who knit it. It was Grandma, because Grandma, my dad's side, because my color was yellow. It's like a mustard yellow. And she always said, oh, it goes so well with your complexion, which was just like, you are the dark child. It's like, thanks, Grandma.
There's also a thing with the tree in your family where every one of the nibblings is an animal.
Yes, I will get there. Get there. But I'm not done with the booty. So mine was crocheted or knit, and my baby sister's was crocheted or knit. My oldest sister did not have booties. She had a rattle. And wow, this rattle. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure that plastic is safe for children these days, but it's a cute little pink and white rattle. And then my brother, he's older than me, but he is the youngest of my brothers, for you to have reference. He had this rubber shoe that apparently came with him when he was adopted. It's in a plastic baggie now because it has cracked and disintegrated to all get out.
Right, that's the rubber has.
Yeah, but it was very stylized, very, very different from all the others. But everyone else had, those nice white little booties. We also all had these brass ornaments with our names on them that came from a friend of the family one year. So every year when we were doing the tree, we had to hang our individual ornaments. My mom carried this over into the nibblings. Every year she gets them an ornament, and they all have like a little animal creature or theme that they get every year. One of them's a swan. One of them's an elf. One of them is a shark, I think, or is he a whale? I'm not sure.
It's a whale.
It's a whale.
Yes.
Okay, because I remember I did the whale shark, and we counted that as one. And there's all the.
We're talking about the Twitch streamer.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a whale.
Yeah. See, you know better than me.
Now I know you're a frog.
Yes, I'm a frog.
What about the rest of your siblings? Do they have animals?
They do. So,
eldest girl.
I can't quite think of hers, although she did morph into suns and moons. But I don't remember.
Right,
eggs. Duh, eggs.
Eggs.
She had a collection of eggs.
Okay. But now it's a sun and moon thing because she does that with her daughter.
Yeah. And then
eldest boy.
I can't remember. I'll come back to that. Next boy is a bear. No, eldest boy I think was a dog. Yeah. Then second boy is a bear. Then the next girl is mushrooms, because mom said she was like her little fairy. She found her under a mushroom. And then the next boy, elephants, which translated into his second daughter. Both his daughters are really into elephants, but the younger one was like, no, that one's mine. And then clowns for the next sister. That'll surprise you, I think.
Clowns. For the most serious...
Yes.
For the most serious, non-jovial, non-funny member of the family.
So my stuffed animal that I slept with growing up was Ruff Ruff was a dog. Hers was a clown. And it was clowny, and it was crocheted by Grandma. Or knit or whatever. I don't know the difference. I know the difference in how they're made. I can't tell you by looking at things.
Oh, I can hear the giant well actually coming over the internet waves right now.
They're all like, you can tell when you're looking based on the knots. I can't tell. Okay. I just know it's knit and awesome.
It is fibermanced.
And I can't remember the baby, because all that's coming to my head is the whole getting the ornament thing started with her. Because when the Barbie holiday ornament came out, my mom started buying them for her. And so every year she got that year's Barbie ornament. And Barbie's like in this amazing ball dress and ball gown. And her daughter has been stealing them from my mom's house and bringing them to her house. But my sister, when she moved out, she said, I want you to keep those. So for Christmas, all around the house, there's like these In my mom's current house, there's like these little shelves up at the top, close to the ceiling, and there's all the Barbies in their gowns, those ornaments, and they're just sitting there. Well, my niece, she's been stealing.
Yeah, but she's like 6.
She's older than 6, but yeah.
How is she getting up there?
She
magic little girl powers.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, can you pick me up? Yeah. No, her aunts and uncles are aiding and abetting for sure.
I love that your chaotic evil little sister is also raising a chaotic evil little hellion.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
But that's what I love about the holidays. That's one of the it's at least in my family, and I know it exists in your family too, is that because they're so stressful, that sometimes sowing a little bit of chaos.
Oh, chaos is great. It's just like the donkey thing, you know?
It's just like the donkey thing.
So my mom always put bows on the tree. Not always, but in more recent years, she puts bows on her trees and ribbons and things. She did get some of those lights that look like they're candles and are clipped on. She loves those. But I do remember growing up, sometimes we would do the cranberry and popcorn. Did you ever do the cranberry and popcorn garland?
No, because that's flammable.
It's not flammable. But okay, Mom, I get it.
No, we never did the popcorn garland.
It was great because you had to string them yourself. So you'd get a needle and you'd have the string. Mm-hmm. Yep, your mom giving you a sharp thing. Yeah, that's not happening. And you'd have the popcorn, and you're like, string in the popcorn, eat some popcorn. String in the popcorn, eat some popcorn. You did not just eat the cranberries, though. I'll tell you that much, because they were like all dried out and stuff. And not cranberries craisins. Without not craisins, and cranberries without sugar are nasty. They're bog berries. Come on, they're gross.
Swamp berries.
Yes.
But you guys growing up, did you always do live trees?
Yes, always live trees. Sorry, that's so always live trees. It was like a must. And every time somebody said, "Oh, it's a fire hazard," my mom's like, "Not if you water your tree. If you keep your tree alive." So my dad worked on a ship, and there were several years that Dad was not home for Christmas, and we always celebrated Epiphany, which is January 6th.
January 6th.
And he wasn't home for that either.
Are you sure your family's not Orthodox?
Shush. We made it up. Not that we made up that 12th night thing. We made our own tradition on the 6th. Anyway, so my dad, there were some years that he wasn't home for a month or two. We kept the tree up. The thing was brown, but we kept watering it so it wasn't a fire hazard. We kept the tree up. Like, it's fine. Don't be scared of a live tree. It is a lot to clean, I'll tell you that much. When you take that tree out, there are pine needles everywhere.
I think that's the other thing, is that, like, whenever whenever anybody has like lottery fantasies of like, oh, how big of a house are you going to buy when you win the Mega Millions? Yeah. Well, Mom would always say things like, "Oh, I'm never going to move to a big house. That's too much to clean." I'm like, "Well, what? Don't you hire someone to?" "Oh no, you can't hire anyone. They're just going to steal all your stuff. I'm not going to have strangers in my house." No.
See, if I win the lottery, I'm hiring somebody to clean this house.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So never a live tree, because I think part of it is Mom's afraid of fire, so Mom was afraid of the fire hazard. The other thing was it was just way too much to clean, and she knew she was the one that was going to end up cleaning it, so she never would. She never wanted to. So we always had an artificial tree, the same artificial tree, in that box that was more tape than cardboard by the end of its life.
When was the last time you got a new artificial tree?
When my parents moved to the house that my dad is in now.
So you were in 6th grade then?
No.
Oh.
No, that was...
Oh, that's when you moved to North Bay.
We moved to North Bay in 89.
Mm-hmm.
My parents moved to the house that they're in now when my dad retired the first time.
Gotcha.
In 96.
Okay.
So, yeah, 96, 97.
That tree can legally drink in the United States.
Yes. Not yet. No, 21. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 20. Yeah, okay, do the math. Good job, Techie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that tree's old.
Yes. Okay.
It's doing great, though.
So growing up, we always had all kinds of ornaments, and we always had special ornaments.
Oh, yes.
For us, my sister, it was always a doll of some kind, normally a Barbie-type related ornament. My ornaments were always either Star Trek related, or after I joined the Army, there's like a soldier man that goes in the tree for me.
You got like branded Star Trek stuff on your tree. Lucky.
There's a couple.
That's awesome.
But I remember there's a lot of years where my mom would collect ornaments, and she would sort of retire some, and she would do like a rotation. And then there was a thing one year where she's like, I'm going to do an all-angel tree. And she did an all-angel tree. And that turned into a thing after that we would almost always do all-angel tree except for
the specials.
The special ornaments. Did you guys do candy canes in the tree?
Yeah.
We would, and then we would eat them all.
Yeah.
There's a...
Yeah, but you don't eat peppermint candy canes, so you put the multicolored ones on?
Oh, there's these cherry ones?
Yeah, those are the multicolored.
Oh, they're so good. I love the cherry candy canes.
No, we were not allowed to put those on, only the white and reds. And then, maybe the green, white, and reds.
Was I the only person ever, I'm sure I'm not, who would suck their candy cane into a shank?
Everyone.
And then attempt to shank people with it?
Every single person who has ever had a candy cane ever. Maybe not every time you had the candy cane, but every person who has ever had a candy cane. Same with the stick candy, like when, you'd get it at the dime store. Like, yeah, everybody.
You turn that into a shank?
Yeah.
Candy shank?
By the way, I'm dating myself. I said the dime store. Yes, I shopped at a 5 and dime. Shut up. Moving on.
Powering
through.
So it was, we alternated back and forth between Star and Angel.
Okay.
At the top of the tree. Angel most of the time, especially when the angel became Rory or Rosie. Best angel ever. Yeah. But the tradition in my family is that it is the youngest member of the family that puts the star on the top of the tree. And that was always my sister until she had children. Then it went through all 3 of her children. And I've been telling this story at work because it is one of my absolute favorite stories. When my niece was... Gosh, I don't think she was 2. My goddaughter, the eldest.
When you were teaching her to kick the tree?
Yeah, because my sister and her husband had just moved into their house. They set up the tree downstairs, and then it was her turn, because she's the youngest in the family. It's her turn to put the star on the top of the tree. So I, as her godfather, I scoop her up in my arms, and I hold her up. So she puts the angel on the top of the tree. Say, good job, you did great. Good job putting the star on the top of the tree. And then I bring her close to my ear and I whisper in her ear, "Now kick the tree down." And she flails both of her legs and knocks the tree, and the tree starts to fall. And my sister's losing her mind. There's ornaments everywhere. Why would you do that? Because it's really funny.
This from the same person that was teaching a 1-year-old to throw her mom's cell phone down on the ground and stomp on it yesterday.
She never did, though.
No, but you weren't teaching her that.
Her mom, I will admit that the mom and the aunt were both in hysterics laughing the whole time and never told me to stop.
This is true. Of course, you are their sensei.
Right. But it was really funny.
Really funny.
But, so come on, kick the tree down. And then she flails both of her legs and knocks into the tree. And my gosh, it was funny. This is more of that Christmas chaos.
Yes, I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, here's the thing. You didn't have cats growing up.
No.
Your sister has cats. But we had a cat for many years.
Is this Mr. Mojo?
Before Mr. Mojo, actually. First we had Cougar. Yeah, and then we had Mr. Mojo. Mm-hmm. And then my mom had Miss Sarah and Princess Heather. Princess Sarah and then Miss Heather. It was just Heather and Sarah.
But when I started going down to visit your family, I only remember Sarah.
Yeah, you've only ever met Sarah. Here's the thing. We never had cats trying to climb the tree.
Really?
And I don't know, is that like a fresh tree? You'd think that they'd like fresh trees, but I don't know. Maybe it's a fresh tree, fake tree thing. Never. The only thing we had to do is no breakables on the bottom branches because their tail might knock it off, and they would go under the tree.
The issue that we've got, I'm sure it's the same thing in every house, is that due to the height of the various siblings that are raising the tree, you get clusters of ornaments.
Oh yeah. Your parents didn't go and fix that?
They tried.
Oh no, my mom fixed the spacing. She fixed it. The nativity scene underneath. Mm-hmm. We have an old creche that was made out of wood. I have no idea where it came from. I'm sure somebody made it for us. Maybe my dad made it. I don't know. And then we had these wooden figures that went inside that were not from it, because we had multiple nativity scenes. Like, they would break, we'd get something new, we'd do this, we'd do that. But when we, excuse me, when we would set up the nativity scene, Jesus wasn't there because he's not born yet. You have to wait till the 25th. And the wise men were over by the TV.
Oh, and the wise men would start to walk over.
On the 25th, the wise men, we would start moving them over because they would not get there till the 6th.
Right.
So there was like a lot going on in our nativity scene. Did you have anything like that?
No.
And did you have real hay in your nativity scene?
We did not have real hay.
Oh, we had hay
Snobby.
in there. We had hay.
No, we had porcelain figures with a little wooden creche. We had all of it, but
we had really scary rubber ones, like rubberized figurines. At one point, they ended up cracking, but like I'm pretty sure some of it was racist.
My sister's big into arts and crafts and would always want interaction with all of these things. So to her, she was a little kid when she came up with the idea of wanting to do her own nativity scene. So every year she would build a nativity scene under the tree with her dolls.
Oh.
And she would have her stuffed animals as the animals, and then she would have the wise men, and then this is a thing that has gone on with her kids as well, that now they build. And the manger... the manger that they use, like the backdrop, is a crate of clementines.
Oh, yes.
They use the wooden crate propped up on its side.
Yeah, if you don't have a creche, just a crate of clementines. There you go.
Very, very, very festive. And then, but now it's a thing that she does with her kids, with the three of them, that they build the nativity scene out of their toys. And we've had like Optimus Prime as Joseph, and
I love it.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. So
the wise men bring gifts of gold, frankincense, and Hulk smash. You know?
Exactly. So when we got together, when I had my apartment, I did have that real tree that one year. And when we got together, I was like, my aunt always had a live tree. When I say live, I mean it was potted. Like, it was alive. It had not been cut down. No. And I'm sure you know which aunt and uncle this was. And every year it would come in, and every year it was a little bit bigger.
Did they do all owl ornaments in the tree?
No, but they could.
Owl decoration, everything throughout the rest of the house.
Yeah, they could. Well, that was her thing. My mom was turtles. She was owls. See, everybody has a thing. So every year it got bigger and bigger and bigger until one year we were like, okay, it's time for a new tree.
Mine was penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Then dragons.
Yeah, that works. And then, so I wanted that. So I kept trying to find a tree that I could keep alive. So I tried a lot of different ones. I tried different varieties. It was, one in a pot, one, different pots, buying from different places. When do I bring them out? Things like that. Did I get it before Christmas? They always ended up dying. So I was tired of it. I was tired of killing trees. So I decided to make my own tree. I didn't want an artificial tree, but I'm okay with a fake tree. So what we did is, and Tech helped me with this, is I cut a bunch of 2x4s into a pyramid scheme with support behind them, and just kind of laid them out as slats, put little hooks on the bottom to hang ornaments.
They were thin boards. They weren't 2x4s.
Not 2x4, sorry, half by 4, I don't know.
Yeah. Just thin little boards that you cut into a Christmas tree shape.
Yeah.
Painted green.
Yep.
And then added hooks to it.
Yep. And I painted it green with a little bit of snow on top, and I wrapped the lights around it. I got these nice little lights around it, and I'm only hanging special ornaments on it. And it is awesome.
Yeah. And it'll hold maybe 24 ornaments, and it fits.
A little more than that.
It hangs on the wall.
Yeah.
So
it hangs on the wall.
It doesn't take up any internal room.
No.
But you can hang your special ornaments from it, and you get your little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Without taking up the space that a tree would take and without the mess of pine needles and garland.
But you still get that glow from the tree.
Yeah.
You still get that love, all that. Lights make me happy. I don't know why, but twinkly lights, they just make me happy. And having these little twinkle lights are great. And having my ornaments up are great. And that's when we realized that Tech didn't have a lot of ornaments. So I got Tech ornaments.
Yay!
For the next couple of years, I'd get them a couple of really cool ornaments, including I didn't get you a Death Star, but I got you an X-Wing. I got you a
TIE Fighter,
various things, you know.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun things.
The cool stuff.
Little Wally.
Wally. Eva.
And so that to me is our modern tree. And then we moved to the town we're in, and everybody has almost the exact pattern that I thought I was a genius for inventing. They all have it outside. Like every house has one outside because this is a Christmas festival town, and they all have it. I'm not that original.
What do they call that? Convergent evolution?
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Almost every society on Earth evolved drums, but they all did it individually. So
yeah, all except one.
Yeah, all except one. But you're the same thing.
Yep, same thing.
With Christmas trees.
But with Christmas trees. So what are your little traditions? I will say that I do have various family members that they celebrate Hanukkah. Some because, they're Jewish or whatever.
Jewish or whatever.
But then, the other atheist side is like, oh, you're doing Hanukkah? We'll do Hanukkah too. And it's just kind of a thing. I do know growing up, we did celebrate Hanukkah with some friends as well. And,
8 Christmases.
Do love
to
the
quote Talladega Nights.
Yeah. Do love no, that's 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they find out they're getting divorced. No, 8 Christmases is from Lou and Rick.
Right.
But, Festivus pole and all that good stuff. What are your holiday traditions? What are your winter holiday things that you do? And do you have any alternatives? Because I would love to hear some alternatives.
Right. And to our European friends, hello, European friends.
Yes.
Especially our Scandinavian friends. No, Sir Stroming does not count as a Christmas tradition. I'm not trying it. You can't make me.
No.
It's not happening.
No, give that to Krampus.
Give that. Oh, I saw the Krampus costumes that they wear in Austria. I want one for the Christmas parade. I think the Krampus should lead the Christmas parade.
Anyway, and on that note, let us know what are your thoughts. And I did want to put a little special shout out. We did have a poll for Q3. Where are we going to be donating? We are donating to Rainbow Road. So Rainbow Road
the Mario Kart track?
No. Rainbow Railroad. My bad. Not Rainbow Road. Rainbow Railroad. We help at-risk LGBTQIA plus people get to safety in countries around the world. LGBTQI plus people face violence and oppression simply because of who they are or who they love. We help them get to safety. So we are going to be donating our Q3 Patreon donations to them. So thank you everyone who voted. Thank you everyone
for a very worthwhile cause too.
Yes. And Shane was telling me, hey, as part of a Secret Santa gift, I am donating to Rainbow Road as well. So
thank you, Shane.
He
very
found
nice.
out about it through our through the vote, and I kind of love that. I think that that's such a great way of getting everything out, and I just think it's
look
cool.
at us doing good work.
Well, that's the community aspect.
Reminiscing, talking about ourselves, being selfish, and somehow turning it into good stuff. I mean,
it's good stuff. So let's thank those patrons.
Unnecessary censorship.
I know. Shut up. Thank you to our top tier big daddies. Thank you to Jax, Jason, and Rich the TT.
I
Thank
want
you
to
so
thank the
much.
patrons, but I'm not allowed. I was told to shut up. But thank you, Big Daddies.
And thank you to the patrons of the art. Back as a patron of the art is Kaylin. Thank you to Hugh, to Mark C, and Mark the Encaffeinated One. Thank you to Susanna. And thank you to all of the other patrons, the lifeblood of this Patreon campaign. Thank you to Shane, Selganor, Cliff, Greg, Harold, Ian, Ken, Kinsey, Melissa, Mike, Nix, Radical Geek, Will and Zachary. Thank you so much, everyone.
Nutty Bites is produced by Nimlas Studios under a Creative Commons Attribution No Commercial Non-Derivatives 3.0 International License. That means you can't change it without my permission. You can share it and send it to your friends. Just link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlas.org, which has links to everything social media, including facebook.com/group/nuttybites and patreon.com/nukejoss, or call 347-NUTTY42.